If you're really into television, especially US television, then you probably heard the term Nielsen Ratings at some point. Back when television was king, Nielsen Ratings could make or break your show's chances of survival.
What are those Nielsens the alien keeps talking about, Mr. Spock?
If I remember my history correctly, Captain, Nielsen's were a primitive system of estimating television viewers once used in the mid-20th century.
Man, we're meant to fly, he'd have better ratings. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Goodbody?
Nowadays, with corporations putting more emphasis behind streaming than broadcast, the Nielsens seem like a reminder of a simpler time where TV can just take you for a ride and you didn't have to endlessly scroll for something to watch. Of course, the Nielsens have adapted to include TiVo and streaming, but how they work hasn't really changed all that much from the olden days of Jackie Gleason and only 3 channels on the television. First off, Nielsen would select random households and ask them, via phone or mail, whether they want to be Nielsen families, which is kind of a misnomer, as family just refers to whoever's living in a house. It could be an actual family, a group of friends, just a family of one, or a family of me, if you will. Of course, they'll also entice you with a few crisp dollar bills or free TV service. Now, if you accept the offer, then you'd either get sent an audience meter or a viewer diary. The viewer diary is exactly what it sounds like. It's literally a paper diary to log what you listen to or what you watch. And yes, I have to admit, I have gotten selected into a Nielsen family. So here is my radio diary. Sorry for the bad audio, but here's my radio diary. Here's what's inside. Tells you the instructions: start time, stop time, and if you start on like early morning and stop at midday, then you have to draw an arrow. And yeah, here's what I've been listening to: station, AM and FM, if applicable, at home, in a car, at work, other place, you know, that sort of deal. So here's what I've been listening to. I guess I'll just take you through a trip around a week. So here's Sirius XM 60s Gold. That's what my dad listens to. My dad listens to a lot of oldies, so that's going to appear a lot here. I'm usually in the room with him because, you know, house getting repaired. But yeah, Sirius XM 60s Gold, that sort of deal. And WDVX, which is actually a very nice Knoxville station. If you hate like this current trend of bro country and shit, WDVX, they have roots music, they have folk music, and I'm like good proper American folk music, like country, bluegrass, all that. If you like, you know, like old classic country, WDVX, that is the way to go. You can listen to it online. Friday, more 60s Gold, Eurovision Song Contest Radio, Internet. I listen to Eurovision. So WMTY, WFIV, both oldies radio stations. Walmart Radio. I decided to include that in there just for kicks, because, you know, Walmart has their own radio station, and it's seriously, they have their own radio station and you can listen live. It's weird. I assume you can listen live anyway. Sunday, more oldies. WLIL, that's actually a classic country station broadcasting from Loudoun County. I tried listening to it on AM, but AM is just kind of hard to really get around these parts. Not very many AM radio stations here, and you have to like get a longer antenna because I don't know, it's just hard to get around these parts. But yeah, classic country again, if you're disinterested from the old bro crap. Pulse 87 New York, that's also an internet radio station. It's actually serving New York technically, but anybody in the world can listen to it. And yeah, it's, you know, it's just like very much, if you're an EDM head, you know, this is the station for you. And Wednesday I just went to town because, you know, it's my last day. So 60s Gold, FIV, WVLZ, that's for you know, when you want, that's the local rock station. W297AX, which is actually the repeater of B97.5, and I listened to B97.5 through this repeater instead of B97.5 because I think it's funny. I tried listening to another repeater, W2X number W286DT, which is a repeater of an AM radio station, WKCE, but it's low power, as you can tell by the call sign, and it's not near me, and I can barely get it, so I only listen to it for 10 minutes. And then WUTK, that's a K, just take my word for it. WUTK, that is the local college rock station operated by the University of Tennessee. And there's some other stations I left off, like WNOX, which is 80s, which I kind of wanted to listen to, but then I realized it kind of sucks. Sorry, Frank Murphy. Also, WUOT, which is the NPR classical music station, I should say. I'm going to listen to that more, because I got a radio. But yeah, I'm going to listen to that station more. And also, no WIVK, because that's the real famous Knoxville station, and it's not football season, so I don't listen to it because I hate bro country, and WIVK just gets all the fucking new countries, and it's just... So here's the quick questionnaire, just to give you statistics. 23 years, I wouldn't mark non-binary, but I was born a male, assigned male at birth, so male, no non-binary, because freaking whatever. Some college, if you're Hispanic, I'm employed, I'm not employed yet. And, well, my opinion counts. I wonder what I should put there. My opinion counts. Knoxville needs some culture before I leave. And please review your diary. Did you write down all the times you heard a radio this week? Yep. Write the call letters? Yep. 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 And didn't have to do that, but yep. Yep. And yeah, I have to make it count by mailing it. I have to mail it by Thursday, January 19th. So yeah, this is the last time I'm going to see this. Sad, but oh well. Alright, it's all ready. Alright, it's all ready to go back to Nielsen. The other way they do ratings is the audience meter, and these have changed over the years. The first audiometers, as they were called back then, was literally a 16mm film canister that literally recorded what was on the TV, which the family sent to Nielsen's headquarters. Which just makes me sad, considering that a lot of the film must have just gotten thrown away, and probably had some lost media on it, which I can hardly bear to contemplate. Anyway, in the 1970s, the audiometer graduated to a phone-based model where ratings were transmitted via phone lines to Nielsen headquarters, which meant that Nielsen had almost instant ratings charts, otherwise known as the overnights. Cable was integrated into the ratings by 1982, and then the audiometer was upgraded to the people meter in 1987, which, while still done by phone, recorded even more of what people did by TV, minute by minute, including when people had their TVs off and even when they changed the channel. Both amazing and slightly dystopian. This was later upgraded so each individual person of the Nielsen family can log in and basically have the meter become an electronic diary. Yes, this electronic diary now includes what you watch on demand, what you DVR, and what you stream. But what does a Nielsen rating actually look like? Well, ratings are often measured with three metrics: millions of viewers, rating, and share. Like, say, a random show that's airing, like this show. Let's say this show had 6 million viewers with a rating of 13 and a share of 17. 6 million viewers is exactly what it sounds like. It's literally 6 million viewers watch the program. Estimated, of course. But 13 and 17, they are actually percentages. The share is the percentage of how many people who were watching TV at the time your show aired were watching your show. While the rating was how many people who had TV in general were watching your show. Another good example of this is the most watched TV episode of all time, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, the finale of MASH. It had almost 106 million people watch it live. It was watched by 60.2% of everybody who had a television on February 28th, 1983. That's the episode's rating. And it had 77% of everybody who was watching TV on the night of February 28, 1983, which is the episode's share. Now, 60.2, 77, 13, 17, they may seem low. I mean, it's considered failing, except for 77, that's considered a C. But keep in mind, there are 150 million TVs in the United States. Of course, what discussion about the Nielsen's doesn't include the sweeps? Not mine. The sweeps are when, over a course of a month, the Nielsen's send out diaries and meters and then collects the data from them. Whether it be the local people meter in big markets like New York, Dallas, LA, Denver, the diaries for small markets like Honolulu, Green Bay, Rapid City, or a mix of both for the mid-tier markets like Memphis, Nashville, and Portland. And there are 4 sweeps periods throughout the year: February, May, July, and November. Those 4 months have the chance to have the most accurate Nielsen ratings, and as such, TV networks love to save their juiciest episodes and specials for those months. Or since the aforementioned match finale aired in February, again, also aforementioned, while the conclusion to Dallas's Who Shot JR storyline was aired in November, although it was originally meant for July. So, why are ratings so important to TV? Well, the short answer is capitalism. Advertisers want as many eyes on their latest Coca-Cola, iPod, Nike, cryptocurrency app, or whatever, and they want to advertise on the shows that they know have the largest audience. And networks, they like to weigh production costs over how much money something is making in advertising. Battlestar Galactica, the original Battlestar Galactica from 1978, that had good ratings, but they weren't good enough to ABC because not enough advertisers were willing to sell their products, sell ad space during its time slot to justify Galactica's highest budget. On the other hand, reality shows and unscripted shows in general are often insultingly cheap to make, and usually make back their budget 80-fold without even trying. Of course, the exact same thing is happening on streaming services like Netflix right now. If you're a big budget show and you're not a huge success like Stranger Game or Squid Thing or Horseface, then you're pretty much going to the trash. Even if basically the same creative team is behind it. Doesn't even have to have positive feedback as well. Shit like this makes bank on hate watches, which is evidence that you shouldn't hate watch something. You know, looking back at how the Nielsen ratings have affected TV, and with the perspective in the back of my head about what's going on with Netflix, it really does give you a perspective of how corporate TV fuckery has been around as longer than we'd realize. You can have a really good show with the best writing, the best plots, best characters, best everything, and it would still fail if the ratings aren't up to snuff. It's not a new concept, I'm sorry to say. Of course, a TV channel can go, "To hell with ratings. We just want stuff that's good." But that's only if you have a guaranteed income, like the BBC or Channel 4 in the UK, or the CBC in Canada. And those things have a guaranteed income from the government. Maybe not Channel 4, but those have a guaranteed income from the government. And our equivalent, PBS, is currently having its budget slashed because lawmakers want to bomb more random places in the desert or harm queer people. And of course, it's kind of hard to justify art spending to taxpayers, which it sucks because I'm an art student, but it's just how it be sometimes. Anyway, hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. I'm Rusty Ralston, and I'm done. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I just like to let you know that I have Patreon, and for $1 a month you can view a monthly bonus. And this month I am going to go to Target and test out a 15-year-old gift card. Yes, so it'll be fun, and join me there. See y'all.